In terms of actually sitting down and engaging in Vedic meditation, what are the steps that you teach? What should people do, and when in the day should they do that? You mentioned 20 and 20 before. I don't think that's a starting point for most people. You said that was the maximum. If somebody listening wanted to begin meditating, where should they start, and what exactly are the steps they should take?
Yeah, look, I mean, as a first, port of call, those apps that I mentioned before, Insight Timer, Calm, Smiling Minds, Headspace, they're a great first port of call. And to start to have a bit of a look, have a bit of insight into what meditation can be, or just developing the habit, that kind of thing. I'd encourage people to go and have a little look around in that space and find something that they feel comfortable with. I mean, what I do is I teach people very strategically how to meditate, and that requires some time and commitment of time and effort and energy in order to develop that practice. But just to be discerning about, a little bit clear about, and I think back to one of your earlier questions, a lot of the initial, what I call stage one meditation experiences, which are all the apps and those things, is what they'll do. So if you think of the mind, top of the mind, that very busy way, the active level of the mind, thinking, planning, projecting, worrying, scenario building, bouncing around on that surface level. Now, what we want to do, and where all the benefits of meditation ultimately come from, is to get the mind to move through this vertical plane of consciousness, to get the mind to settle through that vertical plane of consciousness. So when the mind's bouncing around here, it's what I call conscious snorkeling. The mind's doing this all of the time. The real value of meditation lies in learning how to conscious scuba dive. That's where the benefits come. Now, with a lot of and most of what happens on those apps, which is a stage one meditation experience, is it's usually someone with a very nice voice talking about a very nice scenario, a very nice situation, I'll say, lie down, close your eyes, get the room nice and dark, or whatever it happens to be. And if you do that for long enough, what it will actually do is it'll cause you to stop thinking about your exams. And you'll think about that for a little while, which is good. And if you do it for long enough, you'll eventually start to get a bit of that vertical movement. And that's where the real value lies. And so someone engaging with those apps, they'll have some of that experience. And that'll be a very good start to their meditation career. What I do with Vedic meditation is I introduce people to a very ancient and systematic practice that triggers that response of the mind diving into the deep states of consciousness very quickly and effectively. And the way that we do that is with a mantra. So you may have heard the word mantra, you may not. Mantra means manas, mind, tra, vehicle, mind vehicle. So tra is where we get our English word truck from. It's a mind truck, or a vehicle for the mind. No different from a lift in a building, is a vehicle designed to take us through the vertical plane of a building. A mantra, and more specifically what we refer to as a bija mantra, there's all kinds of different mantras, but these particular set of mantras are designed to trigger the mind into this dive. And so when I teach someone, it's about passing on that correct mantra to someone in the correct way, in the traditional way, and giving them clear and very concise instruction about how to approach that correctly. And that triggers this response in the mind very, very quickly. And the mind starts to go deep very quickly. The body starts to relax very deeply. Within the first 1, 2, 3 meditations, I started teaching a group last night here in Paddington in Sydney. And within the first meditation, all of them started to have little moments of the mind going still, and deep rest and relaxation and moments of stillness within the first meditation that they practiced. And the two things that start to happen very quickly, mind starts to dive body starts to get very relaxed. The nervous system then wants to process and launder. And that's a very important dynamic to be able to understand and navigate. And that's what I teach people how to do, is to very clearly approach meditation in a way that triggers that response. So that will deliver what I call stage 2 meditation experiences, which is what we call transcending, which is where the mind moves beyond thinking. The mind comes to a complete state of stillness within itself. And those apps and things, they'll generally provide a stage 1 experience, which is where the mind will start to settle a bit. But you generally won't deliver a transcending experience. That takes a little bit more doing.
Is there a stage 3? Is there a higher level of achieving a difficult word to pronounce, a transcendent state?
Yes, absolutely. Stage 3 is where, having accessed that inner quietness and stillness within in meditation, then bringing that forward into your eyes open experience. And that is the whole point of meditation, actually, is not about having some little fandangle experience with your eyes closed and no residual effect. It's all about relaxing the mind, settling the mind, relaxing the body, processing, allowing the nervous system to do the defrag, opening up that conscious capability, and then bring that forward into eyes open so that we can enjoy an inner quietness and inner stillness, that inner still, stable, secure inner state inside of dynamic thought, speech, and action. That's the whole goal of meditation, is to be able to enjoy stillness in the storm, stillness inside of dynamics. That's the goal. And to be able to enjoy that more and more and more of the time until we're able to enjoy it all of the time.